So coming back to the topic, so if we look at globally, I would like to start my discussion with a few points which are very important for all of us to ponder over. Uh, Even though I'm economist, but I admit that somehow we could not utilize industrial revolutions the way we should have, because in 18th century when the first industrial revolution took place and we shifted from manual work to the mechanized systems. So after that, if you see, we have had several industrial revolutions, and lot of global wealth has been generated, but we failed on two accounts. One is emissions. Today, if you look at the emissions, the planet is under threat. Second important aspect, which is considered as a failure of this economic progress, is the problem of inequality. So that is what we are suffering today. This world is today a place where we have accumulation of wealth in just few hands. In fact, there was a study by Oxfam where they claimed that just 85% of the global wealth is just in the hands of 15% of this population. And this huge wealth has been generated using the, in fact, in this process, there has been a lot of depletion of the natural resources. So I think these topics globally are very alarming issues. That's why United Nations said that we must achieve our SDG goals. So we all know that we have 17 SDG goals and 169 indicators we are trying to attain by 2030, which I think seems to be a little doubtful, particularly because of the current geopolitical scenarios going on. If I talk about India, so of course, SDG attainment is one thing. Government is actively working on that. But we are also saying that we are going to achieve Viksit Bharat by 2047, which is a wonderful initiative by Government of India. Uh, but my dear friends, if we look at Indian economy, there is one good thing and one bad thing. The good thing is that today we are fourth largest economy, and after USA and China. And soon we plan to bypass Germany also. So soon we may become third largest economy. But if you look at our per capita GDP figures, they are not at all comparable with these countries. In fact, our ranking comes at 10th position we stand if we talk about per capita GDP figures. But should that be our goal? I don't think so. Mere increase in our per capita figures cannot help us much when we have a problem of inequality in the country. When our agriculture, where we have more than 60% of population dependent on agriculture, that sector is contributing just 18%, close to 18% to the GDP. So how can we say that mere increase in GDP? Wealth will definitely keep on growing. Now we are in the digital world, digital age, where we are saying that AI will take away the jobs of the children. So the wealth will not stop growing. It will continue growing, but it may take away the jobs. So the situation is that if the jobs cannot be created in the manufacturing sector, in the services sector, agriculture is already not doing so well in terms of giving livelihood opportunities. So, isn't it a very serious matter? Of course, it is a very, very serious matter. And at the same time, we should not forget that when China started its economic reforms, in every village, they had entrepreneurial ecosystem. Every house was made a startup house. So I think the time has come. Of course, we have been working on UBA since several years, but the time has come when we have to consider this entrepreneurial ecosystem very, very seriously, because this is our path towards inclusive growth. I hope you all agree with me that if we are going to have small scale such startups, self-help groups particularly, I think this is going to go a long way to put India on a higher growth trajectory in an inclusive manner, what I am trying to say. Here, it is important for us to understand that the entrepreneurship can be as a model can be where we are having individual entrepreneurs, micro level in the individual entrepreneurs. Another model can be where we talk about the group model where self-help groups are there. What we have seen in case of India, that self-help groups are relatively more successful than the individual model, because of course there are people, group of people, there's a lot of motivation, and these women who come out of their homes, they really want to prove themselves. Many a times when I address those groups, I call them that you are the leaders of today, because what you are doing is something which is the need of the time and need of the country. So what we have done at IIT Delhi, we are working on this in a mission mode. Actually, a lot of work has been done also so far, as I hope you people are already aware of this fact that we are currently working with more than 4,000 academic institutions, and a lot of work is going on. We have already had workshops for where we have covered the entire country, and soon we are going to start with the subnational conclaves, where we plan to go to different places and looking for the success stories which can be replicated to other places. Um I think this is something which, unless we work on it in a mission mode, I don't think we can get quicker results. Now, the thing is that, of course, when we talk about innovation, this is very, very important. The technologies that we are having today with us, AI is there, and digital tools are there. All those things, of course, we need. I'll talk about this also. But I would say that when we talk about these technologies, we are looking for low cost solutions. That is something which is very, very important. Because when we looked at the problems that these self-help groups are facing, skill development is something where I found that government has done lot of work on skill development, at least the basic level training. It is true that some advanced training is also required. We are looking into that also. But at least government has done a lot in terms of giving them basic level skill development training, product development, I should say. But when we look at other things in the value chain, for example, financial access, market access, these things are still not there. And I feel the technology can play a very important role over here. And that's how we are working on that. And that's how I have been motivating all our PIs that first of all, we should try to identify what are the activities that can be entrepreneurial activities that can be promoted in their villages. And I also requested them to get in touch with the SRLM, because all such activities are implemented through SRLM in each state, and they are doing a lot of implementing a lot of schemes. For example, SVP is one scheme where they are promoting village level startups. And our request to the PIs was that if you could get in touch with SRLM people, try to find out whether your villages are coming into that scheme or not. And if not, then at least the activities government is promoting in SVP in some villages, that thing can be replicated in UBA villages as well. So I think this is very important. First activity should be that we should identify what is the or what are the activities that should be promoted. It can be anything, talking from edible products, going from edible products to the garments, to sanitary napkins, And any other thing, for example, why not call centers? We should have call centers also. Any activity which can be taken up as a startup activity, we must try to promote all that. But yes, tech part is where we can contribute, apart from contributing to the development of the ecosystem, for where we are also planning to look at each and every component of the value chain. Tech part, I would say, is very, very important. And I am very happy to share with you people that every cycle we are getting wonderful, Professor Ravichandran will also agree with me, that we are getting wonderful proposals for low cost technologies. So what I am thinking, and in fact, as I earlier said, that I come from economics. So innovation is something that was first talked about economist Schumpeter in 1934, where he said that it is the innovation that can really contribute not just to the reduction of the cost, but, oh, I'm sorry for this, but also to the further wealth generation. So he gave this innovation as a tool for the global prosperity at that time. So I was trying to request the audience here that let us try to look at, first of all, first important thing is, let us try to identify the activities. And the best way to do is just first of all see in your district which are the villages that have been adopted by SVEP. That will give you a very good idea that what activities can be promoted in your adopted villages. One more thing, wherever you feel that there is a constraint, there is a barrier, please don't let that idea die down. Please talk to us. We will find a solution, right? Another challenge that you people have been often referring to is the funds, finances. I agree, I understand that, but please go back to the alums of your institution. Please go to whatever industry is there in your state, not just in your district but in your state. I'm sure, because they have to utilize their CSR funds, and now, as per current policy, the CSR funds can be given to the academic institutions also. So I am sure you will get, but even if there is a problem, you please talk to us. We will try to arrange for the funds for that. Do not worry. Now, this was more about challenges at your end. Now, let's talk about challenges at the SEG, I mean, not SEG, SHG front. So, again, the same problem comes. One, they are not that much educated people, their exposure is not very high. So, they are not even sometimes to think about what kind of innovation is required in the design of the product. So I think there we have to extend our hand, starting from the product development. Our involvement is required at to the point where we are talking about the access to the market. So let us look at their products, their designs. Let us look at the quality of the product. Let us look at the packaging of the product. Let us look at the transportation solutions, and let us look at how they can sell. So far, most of the self-help groups in the country, they are selling in the offline markets only, right? But I think the time has come when we must connect them to the online markets. And we all know that today e-commerce portals are charging very high commission, after, even after giving some discount, because Amazon, they give some discount to self-help groups, but even after that the amount is quite high. So government has come up with ONDC. Let us help these self-help groups to register with ONDC so that they start selling their products. And once they are on board, they themselves will gradually start realizing that if their product is not doing well, that means there are other, because they would be able to see every product, there are other products which are giving better quality or better design. They themselves will start competing with them. So it's just that initially that hand holding is required. And I'm sure these women, they have lot of potential. And whenever I address these people, I always tell them that sky is the limit for you, because you all are the business women of today's India, and we are here to help you. And you just have to do one thing, you just have to keep your motivation levels high, and we are here to help you for each and everything, whether this is the product development, or it is the quality, or it is the packaging or transportation, or it is about a selling point, a market access. So I think if and sometimes people come and complain that this is not helping us anywhere, we are not getting any marks for this, any scores for this is not even helping in our promotion, so why should we do it? So my response to that is always that this is something this which is giving us lot of satisfaction, that we are doing something for our country. We do not have to do any other social work if we are honestly working on this. And we all know we are learned people, we are researchers, we are educationists, and if we can contribute to this particular mission, you know that the success stories can be created. Okay, so I would say that once you have few success stories in your areas, that will definitely motivate other women to come forward. And of course, India would be known for its entrepreneurial wonderful entrepreneurial ecosystem for self-help groups. And I would request you that please get in touch with SRLM. And SRLM has been trying since decades to promote uh, businesses of the self-help groups. But I think it's not just the product development training. They really need a lot of help, particularly this startup village scheme. That scheme is very good, but I have personally noticed that for market access, again, nothing much is happening. They have created some showrooms. So I believe today brick and mortar model that may not be that much successful. We should connect them to the online markets, because what will happen because of that, whole world is the market. And today we were talking about some work is going on in Arunachal Pradesh also. So there women are making wonderful crochet products, and we were just saying that they can make garments, they can make utility items, they can make decorative items, they can make sofa throws and what not, and these things are so expensive in international markets also. And if we can just help them in improving the quality, so I think this is not just going to contribute to the growth of to the, I would say, to the economic prosperity of these women and people who are in the rural area, but of course also to the country. And the I would say the mission of UBA is to promote rural development with the help of local resources. So that is why we are saying that let us do something where these ladies who are working in some handicrafts or some edible items, anything, I think that's the only way which we have missed out in the past. uh, India is a country which is rich in every natural resource. And not to speak too much on that. So I think I should close my session with these words that definitely, if we are, unless, I would say, unless we are going to do it in mission mode, these workshops, these conferences, these addresses, it will not lead to the potential output. And when imagine so many minds, they are going to work together, definitely we are going to get big boost to the Indian economy. And this is very much required also, considering the current geopolitical scenario, where it is important that we create opportunities within the country, so that our people can get more and more livelihood options also. So thank you so much